So yeah, ESG has been talked very extensively these days, okay? And we have our goal of 2030, 2050, net zero, and we are talking about a lot of things, but ESG is part and parcel of it, okay? So how are we going to integrate TVET into ESG? So I'm going to share my perspective, okay, in TVET, greening of TVET into the workforce. And because being operational manager in palm oil industry, I can see that we need technicians and also professionals in this area to understand the ESG concept when they do their work. Okay, and it is very crucial. It can be coming from the manufacturing department or the industrial, or for that matter, the commercial sector. So ESG is being implemented quite rigorously in Malaysia, and of course, all around the world. So even the Bursa Malaysia, which is the stock exchange here, has mandated that we need to have at least a sustainability report, okay, in their commercial declaration every year. So that's how important ESG is to the industry and to the whole community. Okay, so let me share my slides with you, my humble slides. Okay, so we are focusing on given the focus of greening of TVET for higher learning education. Here are some relevant points that could be added to the seminar. Okay, we are talking about environmental sustainability and TVET. Okay, the importance of renewable energy. Okay, that is the core of ESG. Okay, integrating sustainability into TVET curricula and how to use it to address environmental changes. Okay, and the second point will be developing sustainable skills and competencies which identify the specific skills and knowledge students need to contribute to a sustainable future. What I mean here is the students in TVET education must embrace this and make it happen in their workforce. Okay. Number three will be case studies of successful green TVET programs. For example, sharing TVET examples to institutions that have successfully implemented sustainable practices. Okay, next. Okay, when we talk about technology and green innovation, we must leverage technology for sustainable solutions. The key point here will be exploring how technology can be used to address environmental challenges in TVET. And number two will be promoting green innovation in TVET, which is fostering culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, focus on sustainability. So this is where we are trying to inculcate entrepreneurship in TVET graduates who come out from the institutions. So not only the profit and process, but also on sustainability. Okay. And number three will be the role of green technology in job creation, discussing the potential for green technology to create new jobs and industries. So green technology is where we enhance the circular economy, where we do not have any waste, whereby we can generate, although we generate waste, but we can convert it back to energy. So recently there was an article on waste to energy initiatives in Malaysia. So there are a lot of initiatives going on, but we need the expertise coming from TVET graduates, especially from all the countries throughout the Asia Pacific and also the rest of the world. Okay, and we can see that happening rigorously. Okay, these days. Okay, so next, yeah. So partnerships and collaboration. We talk about partnerships and collaboration. Collaborating with industry and government is a key point here. Exploring partnerships between TVET institutions and businesses and government agencies to promote sustainability. This is where I play a vital role because being in the industry and being a hands-on person for over 33 years in production and commissioning of plants. So this is very crucial, and we have implemented in many organizations in Malaysia to absorb TVET graduates and also technical graduates into the workforce, whereby they can quickly get into the into the swing of things because they have the technical knowledge, because they have the groundwork. Okay, not solely on technical studies, but also some into the industrial sectors. Okay, and number two will be building international networks for green TVET, and this is also going up the level, a step up into the international level, connecting with other countries to share best practices and learn from global experiences. So I will share with you some global experiences later on in this slide, where TVET and ESG has synergized into making the community aware and also giving giving employment to the community. Okay. Number three will be engaging with local communities. This is when we talk about local communities, is we are talking about the indigenous people and not encroaching on their lands and so on. Okay, so discussing the importance of evolving local communities in sustainability initiatives. Okay, next. And we have to also take into consideration about the policies and governance, because in creating ESG and TVET, we need to have creating enabling policies for green TVET, examining the role of government policies in supporting sustainable TVET. So funding, number two will be funding and resource allocation for green TVET. This is also crucial because some industries, when they go for ESG, they do not see the implications on the financial part of it. So funding has to be allocated so that it'll be more attractive to allow green initiatives, ESG, into organizations. Okay. So the point here that I want to bring up is discussing the need for adequate funding and resources to implement green initiatives. So for a fact, I come from a multinational company. So we have already allocated allocations for this initiative, and it is evolving to be mandatory soon or in the future. Okay. And number three point will be measuring and evaluating the impact of green TVET, which is developing metrics to assess the effectiveness of sustainability programs. So we cannot just roll out everything, but without any metrics to assess. So we need to have an assessment tool. So we will, ESG practitioners will have these assessment tools for industries to implement, so that it boils down to their KPI every year, so that the pay schedule will be also very dependent on the metrics that they achieve. Okay, not only profitability, not only productivity, but also on the green initiatives, which is ESG. Okay, next. So solutions as the examples for environmental sustainability and TVET, integrating sustainability into TVET curricula. Okay, next. Skill identification is very important, where you are suited for, whether it's in the management sector or energy, or for that matter, agriculture. So ESG encompasses every aspect now, okay, in all the industries, okay. And number two will be competency-based assessment, which I touched a bit earlier. So we need to have assessment methods and tools to assess, okay. Number three will be certification programs, which CPSE also has all the certification programs, which allow for us to have a grip on certifications to make us go forward in our career and also in the industry. Okay, so CPSE is doing a very great job in offering certification programs. Now it is going to evolve into sustainability and enhance students' credentials and employability. Okay, that is what we target for. Okay, and that is what the Higher Learning Education Department of Malaysia, and for that matter, any other country, is gunning for. Okay, so that we are equipped with all these certifications to perform our jobs diligently and successfully. Okay. Number four will be the hands-on training, which I very much advocate, and I also being a technical trainer in my field of manufacturing, I am an advocate of training from the basics. Okay, so that students can gain practical experience in sustainable technologies and practices. So from the former technology-based know-how, we have evolved into sustainable technologies and practices. The good manufacturing technology practices has also inculcated the ESG in it now. Okay, because that is how we want to go forward. Okay, next. So case studies of successful green TVET programs. Just a tip of the icebergs is what I can say is solar power training in India. Okay, the Indian Institute of Technology in Madras has established a solar energy training program that equips students with the skills to design, install, and maintain a solar power systems. And this is also has been implemented in Malaysia in some of the universities that I've uh, given talks to, especially in Pahang, state of Pahang. They are um, embarking on solar projects because they have vast land masses to put the solar panels to reap this solar power and to generate electricity to the consumption of the campuses. Okay, so that they save on the electricity bills. Okay. And number two will be sustainable agriculture in Ghana. Okay. I've talked to some people in Ghana during my, because I'm also Incorporated Society of Planters member, and there's a lot of plantations going on in Ghana and also in Africa. So there is this university in Ghana whose sustainable agricultural program focuses on organic farming, agroforestry, and climate smart agriculture. So they gauge all their land masses technically. Okay, so this is another area where TVET graduates can be absorbed into countries where is agriculture and agroforestry. Um, they are, they are blessed with it. Okay, like Malaysia and India and some other countries, for that matter, in Cambodia and also Thailand. Okay, and number three will be another example with the green construction training in Brazil. In Brazil, they have a federal university which has a green construction program that teaches students about sustainable building materials. Okay, and just to touch on building materials, it has already crept into Malaysian uh, building materials program also here, whereby we have to engineer buildings which are uh, environmental, social, and governance uh, following the framework. Okay, that means ergonomically they are safe and sustainable in terms of energy usage. Okay, so in Brazil it has been very successful. Okay, and then another program that I should bring up is the renewable energy training in South Africa, which offers a renewable energy engineering program that focuses on solar, again, solar, wind. This is another um, opportunity that we can capture, which is wind and hydropower technologies. If South Africa has a lot of dams and also hydropower powered plants, which generate electricity for the masses. Okay, and I can say for an example in the Philippines, we have the uh, geothermal uh, facility in some of the regions and provinces in the Philippines where we can harness the volcanic activity. Not to say that it's going to destruct the country because of the eruption, but because of the nature of the volcano, it has uh, a very unique volcanic activity happening in the ground. And in the Philippines and some other countries, they have harnessed this source to generate steam and to run the turbines to generate electricity. And this can provide electricity to some of the provinces wholly. So that is another area to we can work on. And many graduates in the Philippines have also embarked on this, and they are doing well in their field, in their own native country. Okay, so these examples demonstrate how TVET institutions can effectively integrate sustainability into their curricula, not into only their curricula, but also their skills when they go and be absorbed in the industry and their workforce later on. Okay. So next, yeah. Yeah, next. So solutions and examples for technology and green innovation. We talk about leveraging technology for sustainable solutions, IoT and smart systems. I think that is also being talked about very much, where we integrate energy consumption, optimize resource usage, and reduce waste in TVET institutions. That is just an example, but the graduates can implement this in their working life. Okay, so Then number two will be renewable energy technology. Integrate renewable energy technologies such as solar panels and wind turbines into TVET labs and workshops to demonstrate sustainable energy practices. So as the saying goes, you practice in your background first before you go into the real world, okay, to implement this, okay. So this is a two-pronged approach. We do it in the TVET labs or TVET workshops or institutions, and it will be a norm as they go to the industry per se when they work. Number three will be virtual and augmented reality. So we can also use VR and AR to provide immersive learning experiences in sustainability topics such as climate change. Okay, climate change has been talked much over the years. Okay, and we have a goal in 2050 to reduce the carbon emission to 50%. Okay, or net zero for that matter. Sorry, 2030 will be 50%. 2050 will be the net zero. Huh? So net zero doesn't mean you do not have uh, emissions, but it is control at the sites of manufacturing sites where net zero will be achieved by doing a circular economy in that particular industry and to have a natural carbon sink to absorb all the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide into the natural carbon sink. Hence, climate change relates to very much conserving the environment, uh, the plantations that have been, you know, millions of years of growth in the Amazon, and also this is what our goal is. Okay, practitioners like me, we try to advocate this to make it happen. Okay, to avoid pollution and to enhance renewable energy. Okay, and number four will be e-learning platforms, whereby what we are doing now, develop online courses and platforms to offer flexible accessibility to training in sustainability and green technologies. So those days I had to enroll in a program where I had to fork out my own money. Okay, but anyway, it has evolved into um, a more comprehensive and accessible training platform nowadays. Okay, so anyone can learn these days. Okay, so it's just a matter of organizations like higher learning institutions to engage practitioners or subject matter experts to conduct these trainings for a nominal fee and to equip people with the knowledge, and they can go further in their academic career if they are inclined to it. Okay, so next. So promoting green innovation in TVET, innovation challenges that I foresee is to encourage students to develop sustainable solutions to environmental problems. Uh, I think our mindset, many of us uh, before this is to gaining profit. Okay, so but then I think it has the mindset has changed. So it is a challenge to change the new millennia to adopt these changes to sustainable solutions. Okay. Number two will be incubation and acceleration of programs. Okay. We have a deadline or a timeline that we need to chase for. So accelerations should be the key here. Establish acceleration programs to support student-led green technology startups. Okay, so I have been involved in two startups where green technology was implemented, and we changed uh, waste product into energy. So those are the examples that we need to promote in time to come. It might be a once-off expense, which is going to be quite high. But then at the end of the day, the returns will be beneficial to the environment and also to the company. Okay, but the initial upfront money has to be put in. Okay. Number three will be mentorship and networking. Okay, this is very crucial also, I should say. Networking with the right people to get the entrepreneurs moving in this direction, and to provide guidance for networking opportunities. Okay, that's where some of us come in to the picture. The networking, especially to promote this objective. Okay. Number four will be intellectual property protection. This is also another. Some do a patented for their processes, because we have many scientists who can come up with certain solutions, but cost is there. Cost is a key point here. But the ideas will be very great. Okay, but to implement it on a bigger scale, many big companies will hesitate. But then when we put intellectual property protection there, so there will be um, uh, what do you call it, a threshold where we can, whether we can go over the board, or we can stick to the basics. Okay, so that we don't be too elaborate in our techniques. Okay. Okay, so next. And this is, I think, we are coming to the end of it. The role of green technology in job creation. I think this is the crux of the what we are talking about in this particular webinar series. Green jobs training. Okay. This is before we go into the actual work um, environment. The training has to be developed. Okay, develop TVET programs. So I think Malaysia is doing very well in this. Okay, energy audits, and we have a lot of environmental engineers these days. Number two will be industry partnerships, which is very crucial. And being in this line, I know it is very difficult to convince industry partnerships along these lines, but we are coming there. Malaysia is coming there, and I think it is the trend of the world to be there. Number three will be entrepreneurship development. This is where we bring our own technology businesses through entrepreneurship programs and support services. So we need to advertise ourselves and make it doable for those who are just starting up. Okay. Number four will be policy. As I mentioned, policy is very crucial. The governance part of the ESG, where policies have to be frameworked thoroughly, um, involving particular industries. Okay, not only manufacturing, but also it can be commercial, it can be transportation, for that matter. So policy advocation is very key also. Okay. Okay. Next. This is where we talk about partnerships and collaboration. with industries, exploring partnership with TVET. Number two will be building international networks, what we are doing now with Green TVET, and engaging with local communities, discussing the importance of involving local communities in sustainable initiatives. So uh, many programs have been implemented in Malaysia also, also across the countries, whereby they um, they involve the indigenous people. Okay, so we do not encroach in their day-to-day living in their environment, but work hand in hand with them. Okay, so this is what we mean by local communities. All right. Next. So some solutions and example for policy governance and creating enabling policies for green TVET is, okay, the policy development itself. I mean, we need to, such as tax incentives. Okay, so this is not much on the people who are getting graduates who are going for job, securing jobs in ESG initiatives, but this is more on tax incentives for the government to government level. Okay, so that funding for green technologies will be, we can get it. Okay, either it's 10 years or 5 years or 10 years when we form a startup company in certain countries. Number two will be policy review and reform. And number three will be policy advocation, which I think I emphasized this twice before this. Policy is very crucial, whereby government agencies have to, they need to see what is the policy advocation of what we want to do. Okay. So, for example, a TVET institution could organize a roundtable discussion with government officials to discuss the need for increased funding for sustainable education. That is one example. Okay, that's one example. It's very difficult to penetrate, but I think with all that is being done for ESG and the SDG, I didn't mention about SDG before this. Sustainable Development Goals, they go hand in hand. ESG goes very much hand in hand with SDG. And the SDGs have been rolled down to all the countries and also rolled down to all organizations to be implemented and to be inculcated in their methodology or their mindset in their organizations. Okay. So I think I've come to the conclusion of my presentation with the policy advocation. So I thank you for listening to my talk. I hope it is enlightening for some of you. Many have gone through this probably before, but this is more to the TVET spectrum, okay? And hopefully it'll be a eye-opener for TVET graduates to be absorbed in the industry and also the government agencies, okay? And I thank you.
Good afternoon to all the listeners and viewers who are joining today for this webinar organized by the CPSC in Philippines. So let me thank CPSC on top of everything for choosing me as one of the resource persons for this seminar webinar today. Can I share my
Sure,
PPT?
sir. Yeah, sir, you can share yours.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes,
Is this
doctor, we can see it.
all right?
Yes, we can see it, sir. Can see it.
Okay. So topic given to me is visible for all of you. That is empowering the future workforce through ESG in TVET. If you look at this topic, there are two keywords, that is workforce and the TVET. Actually, those two words or terms are interrelated. You can't talk about workforce without talking about TVET, because TVET is the school or the place where a better, good, innovative workforce is created. So I think this topic is relevant and well articulated, on which we can talk a bit over the next maybe 30 minutes. So let us make ourselves clear about the topic. There is one acronym which is ESG. So let us see what ESG is. So that is environmental, social, and governance. So when you look at this through the TVET point of view, we can see it in different way, right? Because TVET basically prepare or train people for occupations. So we need to be very vigilant, very careful about these three terms, that is environmental, social, and governance. So let us see what the environment means. That is about a concern about preserving scarce resources, because resources are scarce, right? So therefore, we need to very carefully use those resources. And also environmental friendly practices. We need to always encourage and propagate environmental friendly practices for our TVET graduates. And also we need to promote climate conscious practices, clean technologies, use of green practices, pollution, etc. Before my earlier, actually, the resource person talked about much about clean technologies, green practices, etc. So here also that is very important for us in the TVET sector. Social means how to behave as a better person, act responsibly, understanding needs and wants of others, etc. So we in the TVET need to be very careful whether our graduates who are coming out of our system are socially concerned people. And then governance is all about quality assurance. Quality means whether your graduates are good enough for work or fit enough for work. That is quality is. TVET actually we need to assure the quality in various measures or tools. We have to assure quality. And then comes the relevance. Relevance is how update your curriculum is. You need to be very careful when using curriculum in revised manner. It should be in par with current requirements. You need to use updated curriculum. That is all about relevance. Maintaining credibility of systems. So when a TVET system is administered, we have to use a number of systems, basically online based systems. We need to ensure credibility. And then improving service quality. Service quality means your clients. We need to concern about their requirements, their needs, and then how best you provide your service to them on time and accurate manner. And then accountability, all about the responsibility vested with the top management of the TVET administrators. So governance is all about quality assurance, relevance, and then credible systems, etc. So I think this ESG is very relevant and timely topic for us to discuss about. So the world of work is rapidly transforming for sustainable, inclusive, and innovative practices as demanded by the industry and stakeholders around us. So the economies, the world is rapidly changing. So accordingly, our systems, our courses, our delivery and everything should be changed. And also it is evolving. TVET is not a static thing. It has to evolve as per the requirements of the clients. So why ESG? Why we should worry about the environment, social, and governance? So it sets the foundation for responsible and sustainable growth, irrespective of type and nature of the economy. Now, you can see the economies around the world are three types, basically. Depending on the resources, their innovations, etc., economies around the world are three types. The basic, the first level of economy is factors of production driven economy, where the factors of production, that is basically the manpower, the land, the capital, etc., your entrepreneurship spirit, etc., are critical in this type of economy. Actually, the most Asian economies, especially the South Asian economies, fall in this category, factors of production-driven economies. And then efficiency-driven economy. In this type of economy, what is important is the productivity, whether you get maximum output by using minimum inputs, and then also optimization of resources. In some economies in our region are already efficiency-driven economies, like maybe Malaysia and then growing economy like Vietnam. They are much worried about inputs and outputs. Getting much output using minimum inputs is their strategy. And then innovation-driven economies are the economies which economies are changing very quickly. So often, the processes, production processes used by those economies are changing very often, right? So their technology maybe within 6 months or 1 year duration, they change their patterns. So those are called innovation-driven economies. So whatever the economy, so these three, ESG are important. Irrespective and type of nature of economy, the ESG are very, very important. TVET is central for achieving goals of ESG. As I said before, TVET is central because without TVET, you can't talk about a workforce. So TVET is the place where good workers are produced. So role of TVET is to train workforce needed for industries. TVET shall match with type and nature of industry. So TVET need to be very vigilant on the type of economy. Which economy is ours? What are the characteristics of our economy? So TVET supply need to match the requirements of the industry, the economy. Right? So whether it is factors of production driven or innovation driven or efficiency driven, TVET should take care of that. TVET should consider the type and the nature of the economy. So then create or manufacture or produce skilled labor as per the needs of the economy. Connects education to green jobs, ethical practice, ethical workplaces, and inclusive societies. So the ESG connects education to green jobs. Actually, the term environment is something to do with green jobs, and also the social practices related to ethical workplaces. So actually, this ESG is very, very relevant and timely topic that prepare youth for future economies built on sustainability and innovation. So as I said before, creating industry-friendly or work industry required workforce, it is the job of the TVET system of any country. Environmental integration in TVET. Environmental encompasses everything surrounded by us. So that includes everything. The people, the equipment or processes, everything is surrounded by us, includes environment. How can TVET respond to preserve it? So these things we have to do in order to preserve environment surrounded by us. Basically, we need to create green curricula. That is basically curricula related to renewable energy. So the economy is transforming to solar power systems, solar-based power generation all over the world. The economies are transforming. And then economies in the world are using wind power now. They are using biomass in place of fossil fuel-based power generation. So economies are transferring from fossil fuel-based power generation to renewable energy sources. And then eco-construction, moving from heavy to lightweight but stronger construction. Climate smart agriculture, increase productivity and income despite seasonal and adverse weather impacts. So countries in the world, some countries, they experience seasonal differences. They have 4 seasons in most countries in the northern part of the world and southern part of the world. They have 4 seasons, but in the countries on the equation and close to equation, they don't see that much of seasonal difference. So countries in northern and southern part of the world, they need to be very vigilant on climate changes. Otherwise, their yield, their harvest may be affected by adverse weather. Upgrade infrastructure, solar panels in TVET institutes. Actually, the solar TVET institutes, they can use solar panels in their institutions to generate power. Waste recycling technology to minimize resource usage. And then support green certification programs, recognize competencies irrespective of acquiring such skills. So people gather skills not only by attending classes or courses in TVET institutions, but also they gather skills by their experience, by working with experienced people. Those skills we need to assess and certify. So as a result, we can see an outcome. TVET becomes the driver of the environmentally friendly green transition and push economies towards efficient and innovative models. So TVET has a big role in creating environmentally friendly workforce for the economies around the world. Social side, actually, we need to maintain equity in the TVET system because countries around the world has different proportion of male and female in their population. In some countries, women are predominantly the majority, and some are males, actually the majority. So in countries where women are predominantly the majority, we need to give them access. We need to give them access, especially for countries with female majority. And then rural youth, actually, most countries, they have a larger part of rural youth. So we need to eradicate their poverty level and their increased social status. And persons with disabilities, increase inclusiveness. In some countries, there are certain percentage of disabilities people. We need to take them on board. We need to create certain courses or create certain avenues for them to follow TVET courses and change their life and status. And also in some countries, in Sri Lanka also, there are rural-based livelihood training centers, livelihood practices, and also courses are there, especially the short courses like ornamental fish, confectionery making, mat weaving, etc. So those things we need to look at and support where possible to maintain social equity. And then embed employability and soft skills in curricula, because not only the core skills of the basic competencies, but also some soft skills and employability skills need to be embedded in curricula for them to be able to work effectively in the industry. create workplace friendly, responsible and responsive citizens. So after all, these things will be useful to create good workers, responsible and responsive citizens as a whole. So as a result, a socially just workforce will be created and who are ready for work. Governance is all about the quality assurance. Actually, the world is transformed into digitalized method of process, administration. We need to establish digitalized system for quality assurance, TVET delivery, assessment and certification for client requirements. So basically the governance is for quality assurance. They actually countries need to recognize their training, institutions and courses. In Sri Lanka, as per the powers approved by the parliamentary, all centers, all institutions need to be registered with the TVEC where I work. And also courses need to be accredited for award of NVQs. So that is the quality assurance practice in Sri Lanka. So thereby we assure the quality of delivery and also the assessment and certification. So for the assessment and certification, we have automated system introduced to maintain credibility and reliability of the systems. And also under the governance, we have to make sure TVET is demand-driven, demands of the industry. So TVET is not general education. It is industry-driven, demand-driven, should be demand-driven system where the requirements of industry need to be considered and taken care of. So in the governance, we need to ensure the industry employers, the industry should be a part of the boards, the councils of TVET institutions. Because in most TVET bodies, institutions, they have their own boards, the councils, where the employers, the industry people should come and make their comments in relation to their requirements. And curriculum development, there are development groups, committees, where the industry can come and express their views. And also validation is another one coming after the development. In the validation also, the industry can come and play a role. I mean, they can edit and they can add and remove certain things in the curriculums during validation. And then comes the endorsement. Endorsement is the approval. Basically, the regulatory body do the endorsement. In the regulatory body also, industry can participate according to the requirements. And also, we have to undertake labor market studies time to time to understand how the labor market evolves, the changes. Undertake studies to measure internal and external efficiency of TVET. Internal efficiency is about how many students or the trainees coming out of the system. And external efficiency is whether they find work as expected in their occupations in the industry. For that, actually, we need to undertake the studies or research to measure internal and external efficiency of TVET. And then we have to promote ethics and integrity among trainers and students. So trainers are basically the teachers. They need to behave ethically, and they need to maintain a great deal of integrity while working as a teacher, because they are the role models of the students. If they practice ethically, then students practice that. Otherwise, we can't expect students maintain ethical and integrity in their life. So as a result, responsive institutions and ethical future leaders can be created through TVET. So then let's look at how this ESG linked to SDG. SDG means Sustainable Development Goals introduced by the United Nations. Actually, there are 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, as declared by the UN. Out of that 17 SDGs, there are 4 SDG directly relevant to TVET and ESG. So the SDG 1 is related to the poverty. So UN envisions to end poverty in all forms through implementation of this goal. Goal number 1 related to poverty. UN expect to eradicate poverty by implementing this goal. And then the SDG 4, that is related to quality education. Quality education, that UN envisions to ensure inclusive and equitable education and promote lifelong learning. So that's what the UN expected by implementing this SDG goal number 4. And SDG goal number 8 is all about decent work and economic growth, directly related to the TVET. Sustainable economic growth, because that is one of the intentions of TVET. And SDG 13 is all about climate resilience. It is combating negative effect of climate change, because all over the world, the temperature is going up in certain countries. So we need to control or get used to all these things and act accordingly to be able to produce good quality workers. Attracts sustainable investments and partnerships. Actually, we need to ensure we need to invest in such manner which create people as per the industry requirements. Underpins national economic resilience, promotes social stability and innovation. Policy recommendations. Actually, we need to consider ESG into TVET curriculum. We have actually done some work, significant work, which I tell you in few minutes time. Teach and assess learners in competencies of ESG. Enhance capacity of teachers and institute managers on ESG, because without their knowledge, the awareness, we cannot achieve anything. So therefore, we need to enhance their capacities, teachers' capacities, the managers' capacities on ESG. And then liaise with the industry employers on ESG. We need to work with the industry. We need to create awareness of industry people on these environmental, social, and governance principles. Set ESG related performance indicators. When centers do their planning, they have to bring all these ESG performance indicators into their planning, so that they can follow throughout their plan implementation. Now, ESG integration of Sri Lanka TVET sector. Actually, we have done significant work in this area over the past 2 years period. We have updated 20 TVET curriculum, because so far we have close to 400 TVET curriculum in level up to level 4 certificate level, and there are another 100 diploma level curriculum level 5 and 6. So out of that 20, we have selected 20 leading certificate level curriculum in TVET system Sri Lanka, and added green practices. We have changed our curriculum. Actually, we revise our curriculum every 2-3 years. So before that, actually, we selected 20 leading curriculum and incorporated green practices there. And those are now being used by training institutions, and the courses are delivered accordingly. And then we have added 4 soft skill modules in certificate level courses that is related to teamwork, Let me check. For soft skill modules in certificate level courses, that is teamwork, occupational health and safety, interpersonal relations, interpersonal communications, etc. We have incorporated as basic modules in all certificate level courses in Sri Lanka NMQ system. And then we have added 4 TVET curriculum in sustainable energy. So especially for renewable energy, we have added 4 curriculums, including a solar PV system installer technician, because solar is getting very popular in Sri Lanka. So we need technicians, mechanics in those areas. So we have added 4 curriculums, including solar PV system, wind power technician, biomass technician, hydropower plant technicians. We have created curricula and uploaded in the system, in the NMQ system, so that our training providers can use them in their training. And then we developed learner guides and trainer guides in air conditioning curriculum, air conditioning and refrigeration curriculum. We have developed learner guides and trainer guides incorporating green practices, because it is very important that this particular occupation, ref and AC, there are practices which are environmentally harmful. So I think we need to do this in order to look after or safeguard the environment from hazardous activities. So let's follow up ESG goals. We have to take ESG very seriously. We have to upgrade our curriculum, teaching, assessment, etc., and update and teach ESG competencies, mobilize resources for sustainable skills development, strengthen labor force for environmentally sensitive, responsible, and equitable way of working workplaces. So especially in the TVET, we need to take ESG very seriously and then take action accordingly. So with that, I conclude. I think now I hand over this session, the floor, to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ajith. Very nicely presented, very short and sharp, clearly what Sri Lanka is doing on ESG. Thank you very much. And thanks for the time management. I really appreciate on that. Okay, now we will open to the floor for the Q&A answer. The audience, the participants in today's webinar, you are open to ask any question in the chat box so that you can address to the panelists who want the answer, whom you want them to answer. So we will open to the floor now. Make it your question short and sharp, and also my humble request to the panelists to answer with a short and sharp so that we can take more questions. Okay, now we open to the floor. Now it's 4:25. We have almost another half an hour for Q&A section. Stephanie, is there any question in the chat box?
Hello, sir. None so far.
Okay. If there is no, let's me start the ball of the Q&A section as a moderator, so that maybe if there is any, we can ask them to, participant can ask. Okay, first question. I have this thing for Mr. Alex. Mr. Alex, I'd like to know, we are talking about ESG. It started with green, sustainability, circular economy. Now we move to ESG. Okay. What is the current status of ESG taking place in Malaysia? What is the scenario in a public sector, in a private sector? As a consultant, as a sustainability, as a ESG practitioner, how you see things? We can't hear you. I think your mic is muted.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor, for the question. Yes, it is a uphill task here, to be very frank. But as I mentioned in my presentation, the Bursa Saham, which is the stock exchange, has already mandated GLCs and ACE companies to declare ESG reports. Okay, from year 2025 onwards, okay, which is this year, okay. So I should say on the progress of the ESG in the implementation, it is not Malaysia wide, but it is focused on the GLCs, the government-linked companies, and also the ACE market. ACE market is uh, markets which are 1 million and above revenue, okay? On the groundwork, okay, ESG is taking shape in various forms, okay, in companies, all right? And they are taking in environmental engineers and also ESG practitioners to be part and parcel of the team to form this committee, which the Securities Commission envisions and also is going to mandate as we come in the years to come, which is going to be very, I should say, is going to be very crucial, okay, as we are going to the 2030 agenda and 2050 agenda on the SDGs and also the net zero emissions, okay. So I think I just put it as those 2 points, Dr. Kesavan, yeah.
Okay, thank you, thank you. One more question to another question to Dr. Ajith.
Yeah.
Dr. Ajith, well done. What Sri Lanka have done, you have done, and I'm very attracted with your three terminology of the economy. FD, FD, EDE, then the EDE, then ITE, the innovation, the enterprise-driven economy, innovation-driven economy, factor production-driven economy.
Yeah.
So this is a very good model. You see, that is a very good model. And you're talking about, you have incorporated ESG into the 4 sectors: solar, wind, solar power, wind power, biomass, and hydro.
Yeah.
So what is the outcome so far? When you implemented, what is the outcome that we can see from this implementation via the monitoring and evaluation mechanism, which how you monitor and evaluate and accomplish the outcome in Sri Lanka, on particularly on the implementation on this ESG?
Yeah. So in this sustainable sector, energy sector, we introduced the solar PV system installer, biomass, hydropower, and wind power certificate level courses. So this solar PV system installer that was there for the last 2 years, which we have updated, incorporate in green practices. So these curriculums have been used by the training providers at the moment. Right. So all those who are getting qualifications through the recognition of prior learning, through the assessment of their experiences, they have to obtain qualifications in these updated qualifications. In addition, we incorporated green practices into 20 leading curricula. That includes the automobile mechanic, electrician, ref and AC mechanic, serviceman. Those things we have updated, incorporating green practices. Actually, those are being used by the training providers at the moment. Dr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Before we go to the question, I got one more question. Maybe both of the panelists can also answer this. What are the initiatives beside funding and anything the government of both countries have given to these industry players to embark on the ESG journey? Any special tax resumption, exemption, any pulling factor to make it? You see, we are talking about carbon footprint. We want to talk about the COPA Paris agreement and everything. What are the initiatives the present government is giving in make sure this ESG is really taken in the prospect of your country?
Yeah, actually,
Dr. Ajith, you can go ahead first.
Yeah. So in Sri Lanka, actually, the government of Sri Lanka provides a certain amount of resources for ESG implementation. And also we rely on donor assistance because the the various donors, the ILO, GIZ, and then maybe COICA, and ADB also provides resources for us to implement ESG related activities, especially in curriculum and standard development, because we have what we call the national competence standards. Based on that, we develop the curriculum. In those areas, actually, the donors, the well-wishers help us a lot, apart from the government assistance.
Okay, that is good. Okay, I have four. What about Mr. Alex? Anything from your
Yeah, I
side?
think Dr. Ajith has put it very well. I think Sri Lanka is very well ahead of us, actually. We are working on it actually in Malaysia. As you mentioned, well wishers, donors, yeah. Donors are there to support us, okay? But we don't see predominantly coming from the government, but they are doing their best in terms of the education inculcation, yeah, inculcation of the concept of ESG and SDG into the companies. Okay, so that is where I can put my stand on. Okay, well wishers and donors are there, and they have contributed much to the goal, actually, the noble goal for climate change, which is linked to SDG and ESG. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you to the both panelists. Okay, we have 4 questions in the chat box. Let me read the question. I'll leave it to the panelists, the resource person, any one of you all can answer. The first question: how can organization effectively reskill their workforce to adapt to emerging technologies and future demands? I repeat again. How can organization effectively reskill their workforce to adapt to the emerging technologies and future job demands?
Doctor, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, please. Anyone can take Mr. Alex or Dr. Ajith.
Yeah,
Dr.
actually,
Ajith?
industry, we have been working very closely with the industry. Whenever they want us to change curriculum, we take them as positively and try to, change and update curriculum according to their requirements. And also from the government side and from the local government side, they are bringing certain regulations to preserve and safeguard the environment. So, for example, if somebody wants to start a workshop in maybe say carpentry, the relevant officials visit the place and see whether it has any harmful effect to the surrounding. So if there is such harmful effect, they will not allow the requesting party to start it. So that way, I think those regulations are being implemented for the betterment of the environment from the government side.
Okay. Any adding up point from Mr. Alex?
Yes, on the technical studies institution here in Malaysia, because I'm also an assessor of the curricula, okay, and their subjects, and very truly said by Dr. Ajith, we have already, for the past 2-3 years, we already inculcated this concept. Whenever we want to build a building or, for that matter, workshop, this has to be taken into account too. So I think we are coming to that, and it is a requirement, and it is a mandatory these days. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. There is another question. There are a few questions, but I will try to make it simple. What strategies can business implement to foster a culture of continuous learning, prepare employee for evolving workplace trends? I'm not very clear this question. I don't know whether panel. What strategies can business implement to foster a culture of continuous learning and prepare employee for a friendly workplace?
Yeah, this is this coming from Mr. Arul Kamaraj, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so Mr. Arul, strategies has evolved much, I should say. Okay, workplace trends means I think to absorb ESG into their normal work routine. Okay, because being a senior person in certain organizations, we cannot adapt to change at times. Okay, but I think the organizations have put an effort and put in training schedules, sorry, training initiatives to make this happen. So I think continuous learning is already there. I can see it from technical institutions in Malaysia. It is being implemented and is being mandated. Okay, thank you.
Okay, there is another two more questions. The next question, how can TVET institution strategically integrate ESG, environmental, social and governance principles into their curricula and industry's partnership? Not only equip students with future-ready skills, but also foster generation of professionals who drive sustainable and ethical economic growth. That means they say how we can incorporate looking for sustainability, it not only growing up the skill. So what is the point of the prospect point from both panelists on this? Maybe you can share in your country what they are doing, how for the betterment. They are talking about how it is not one go. It is like continuously will be going, like sustainable. It will take off and enhance. That is the point.
Yeah. Actually, so the regulatory authorities like TVET in Sri Lanka involved in updating or revising the curriculum incorporating ESG, right? So that actually, as I said before, every 2-3 years we revise our curriculum. So whenever we do revise our curriculums, we need to take care of consider the ESGs. So that is to ensure sustainable industries prevail in the country, and also to look after the safety of our workers as well. So that way, I think we need to bring ESG into our curriculum revisions on regular basis.
Okay, Mr. Alex, you do have anything?
I think Doctor has put it very correctly and very aptly to the ethical economic growth, and he has emphasized safety. Safety is also very crucial in whatever we do. I think it's a core of any industry, especially me coming from a manufacturing background. Safety is a core. Okay, so I think we should not compromise on safety. So whatever we do in the name of ESG or SDG, safety has to be considered very thoroughly. Okay, thank you.
Okay. There is another question talking about with environmental, social, and governance. How can we organize in a technical skill or education? That means they're talking about how with this ESG they can organize technical skills or education. How maybe this is, I think they're talking about how we can embark into this skill using this concept. Maybe that is a question. If I'm not mistaken, this is from Qazi
Qazi
Hanif.
Hanif, yeah. Qazi
Yes.
Hanif.
I think rather than coming up with separate modules sort of things, we need to embed ESG practices into normal curriculum. Because if we create separate modules, I think no one will take care of it. So rather than that, we need to embed ESG practices into normal curriculum so that they can learn it while they learn the core skills, they can learn the ESG skills as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anything at that point from Mr. Alex on this?
Very true. Very true. I'm just agreeing to Dr. Ajith. Being a person of 33 years experience, yeah, I can see that we need to emphasize this more in the newcomers. Okay, we call it the orientation program has to be very catered to ESG needs these days. Okay, and it has been done in Malaysia for the past 3-4 years already, but I think more can be done. Okay, and I think it is going to be it can augur well for the country in general. Thank you.
Okay, I have two questions final before we wrap up. The first is the perspective of as a panelist is not by country. What do you all think the most important, the G's of ESG, the most important value, the most point why we need to embark to ESG? Why? What is the main reason? You think this is very good in the long run on the context of SDG? We are talking about SDG. What is the main point of implementing ESG? And how is the awareness in your country on ESG towards the community?
Actually, out of this ESG, I think most important part is the governance, right? So as the regulatory authorities, we are very much concerned about how to maintain credibility of the systems, because we are the people who provide good quality training, assess and certify. So therefore, our clients, our service seekers need to have belief on our system. So without belief, nothing can be, prevail. So therefore, I think through various systems, improved systems, we need to maintain a credible qualification system. So in that sense, the term G, the governance, is very, very important.
Okay, thank you. What about Mr. Alex?
Yeah, governance is important. Yeah, I agree with Doctor. The prevailing situation nowadays, without governance, I think people will not follow. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think not to say we have to make it mandatory, but we have to make it happen. That's what I gather with the youngsters coming into the industry that I see. Um, uh, the uh, the first our first task is to make them aware about the climate change. I think the climate change is crucial and is of utmost importance to me. Okay, and the others will fall into place. Okay, because
Okay.
we can see calamities and all happening. So I think if we can drive this through them, it will be good. Thank you.
Okay, my last question is, what is the most issue and challenges of ESG, implementation of ESG in your country, especially? What are the main issue and challenges that you are facing as a ESG practitioner, implementer in your country? Can you share?
So in Sri Lanka point of view, actually, the main challenge is the lack of resources. And so we need, I think when it comes to revision or update of a curriculum, it requires a lot of funding, money. So as on regular basis, we revise and update our curriculum. But when we are to incorporate ESG, we need more and more resources. So therefore, I think we need to rely on donors because countries, financial situation is not that not that good. So therefore, that is one of the challenges we are facing, finding the finance required for the changes, for the revisions is one of the challenges. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Alex, you like to say something on this?
I am in agreement with Dr. Ajith. Finances play a vital role. I think Sri Lanka has gone leaps and bounds on this. We are a bit lacking, but I can see things happening. So we wish all countries well on this endeavor in changing the mindset of the ruling party. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much to the both panelists. Miss Stephanie, is there any questions in the chat box which I missed out?
None so far.
Okay, maybe we can take one question if there is anything from the floor, the final question, if you have to ask our panelists before I wrap up the section.
Actually, there is a question here from one of our
Yeah,
CPSC
please
staff.
read it up, Stephanie, to the panelists.
Okay, I will read it. So, the concept of ESG is really enticing, especially if we are talking about creating long-term sustainment and inspiring a progressive performance of industries in TVET. How do we convince the people, specifically the policymakers and global leaders, to fully embrace the concept of green mindset if we are going to see this as an investment rather than another expenditure that we are forced to undertake? So that is the question. So how do we convince the people, especially the policymakers and the global leaders, to embrace the green mindset?
Okay, do you understand? Is it the question is clear? Dr.
Yes,
Ajith?
yes.
Okay, any takers?
I think what the person is asking is, what is the condensed nature of how we're going to move forward? Yeah. Okay. So I think it boils down to me, there's one word, lah, just think about the climate change, what is happening around us. Okay. And with that in mind, I think all will fall into place. And I think government should take the cue from what is happening and go from there. Yeah. Thank you. Doctor? Yeah.
Yeah, I think whether we like it or not, whether we have resources or not, we need to, give due attention to ESG. As mentioned by Mr. Alex, look at the climate change, right? So therefore, I think despite all these lacking areas, we need to seriously consider about ESG in TVET sector. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Thank you very much. Anything else we have, Stephanie, in the question chat box?
None anymore.
Okay, right. If there is no, okay, thank you very much to all the participant audience who asked question, and also to our both panelists who have answered. They have given their view. Really appreciate. Before we close, let me wrap up of this webinar section. As we know, sustainability is not just stand alone. It is a pillar of the economic, the social, and the environment. We should have the environment, economic, and the community. So all these are blended to become the sustainability. So this sustainability is also next step from the green sustainability circular economy. We are moving to ESG. When we talk about ESG, we talk about environment, energy usage, climate change, waste reduction, emission of CHG, emission gas, okay, carbon footprint. When we talk about social, we talk about fair pay and living wages, equal employment and opportunity, employee benefits, workplace health and safety. We are talking about community engagement. We are talking about responsibility, supply chain and partnership. We are talking about adhering the labor laws. And the most important is when you talk about governance. Because governance, we talk about corporate governance. We talk about the risk management. We need to consider the compliance. We need to see the ethical business practices. We need to see avoiding conflicts of interest, acquainting integrity and transparency. So it is a total package on ESG. It is not only environmental, social governance, but inside environmental, there is a lot of package which we need to address. The most important is the greenhouse gas emission. We talk about carbon footprint reduction, the climate change, the waste reduction, the energy reuse. So these are the topics where the world is looking under the SDG, climate change 13. So I think it is a complete package. And in Malaysia, we are already embarking. Because I'm also from Malaysia, I can see they are embarking on this. And many countries, in CPSC, we have 16 member countries. Everybody have the awareness on ESG. Especially when I went to Bhutan, they also having the green environment. They also uplifting and also preserving the green sustainability. So I think it is a part of our life on the green sustainability, because that is where the future going to be. So it is good to create awareness through the support of governance, good government, through good governance. And also it cannot be, the policy should be ongoing, and some incentive need to be given. Some incentive need to be given to the industry players, to the public and private partnership towards the institute and industries. So to encourage everybody will talk. We need to walk the talk. It cannot be just on paper, but implementation is none. So we need to show the output. Start small, finish big. We start small, finish big, and we need to encourage this. And the curricula, it is not only in the tertiary level, it should be also started during the secondary level. Before they go to college, they already have, like what we can see in Japan, what we can see in Korea, why these people are very environment friendly, caring, because their curriculum starts from the primary level, where we need to bring this. We cannot put them after 18 years old in the tertiary level, where the mindset is different. So this is where we need to look into it, and we need to make a compulsory, and also it should be given a certification. When you want to go to industry, you need to have a green certification. So that will also, by hook or crook, will give people to create this, go for this green sustainability knowledge before they go to work. So whatever work they do, there is a green and sustainability concept. They have to think about it. So that should be a way of doing it. So with that, I would like to conclude. The ESG is very important in the current era, as what Dr. Ajith said. We are right track. We need to do. It is a complete package. It is complete package for, especially for our TVET agenda. It is a very nice, so very good sharing. So on behalf of Colombo Plain Staff College, on behalf of our Director General, Professor Dr. Suresh Kumar Dabanja, we would like to convey our deepest gratitude and thank you for your time, commitment, effort taken. At the same time, I would like to thank the Joint Secretary of Sri Lanka Ministry of Education, Ma'am Samanthi Saniaki, for when I asked her help to get one speaker, she nominated Dr. Ajith Polwatte. Thank you very much, ma'am. And also the entire team from Sri Lanka. We had a good program last week, 2 weeks before. And also Mr. Alex. Mr. Alex is from Polytechnic Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah, Kuantan Pahang, and he is a TVET practitioner. He started his career. He is especially, he was a student. He worked in oleochemicals, one of the US company. With his vast experience, he's sharing the knowledge. Thank you, Mr. Alex. So once again, we would like to thank and all our team members, especially from Stephanie Rimas and Miss Arlene from Research Publication Information Division for their support organizing this webinar, contacting the resource speakers and also the arrangement. And also to our ICT team, Mr. Justin, Mr. Paul, and Miss Dani for creating the link and monitoring for all the section. And nevertheless, to our Director General, without his endorsement, we are not doing this. We can't do this program with his vast vision. He want to have a knowledge platform sharing to the member countries and beyond. So we are looking forward every 2 years, every 2 months once we'll have this platform. And those who are having some topic, you are good in that field, the participants, dear participants, you can contact our RPID. I think Stephanie will give this. We can offer you a platform for the knowledge sharing. We open to this. What we will give is invitation and a certificate, international certificate as a resource person. And nevertheless, to all the participants who have taken this platform, I think more than 200 people have joined. Even though here the link is 100, but they have joined through YouTube to witness this knowledge sharing. I think it is good once in a while we have this kind of platform Q&A answer for the betterment enhancement for the TVET agenda in Asia Pacific region and beyond. With that, once again, thank you very much for those who are here today and those who have helped directly and indirectly to have this webinar. And this webinar will be the final for this physical year. We will have the next physical year starting from August. Hope to see you all in the next platform. With that, thank you very much for both of them once again, to Mr. Alex and Dr. Ajith for the wonderful sharing section, and we will meet up again.